Hi guys, welcome to a new video of entertainment terrain, and today we're going to talk about Black Panther beating The Dark Knight in the box office. We're going to talk about the Chinese box office being 66 million, yet the review is not being very positive. We're talking about the last weekend box office, and we're going to talk about the new releases coming up this March. Let's go! Black Panther beat The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises last weekend. It made over 1 billion and I think 86 million bucks or 87 million bucks, beating out The Dark Knight Rises by $3 million. Getting to that point, it also beat The Dark Knight quite easily. Actually, The Dark Knight made its money, it made its full run money, so it was like $1,004,000,000 in 231 days. Black Panther did it in 28 days. That is quite interesting. Why? I think it has a lot of factors going in here. Of course, we have inflation at first. We have Black Panther being a film that had a cultural impact. Um, it's because the hype around this film as well, and there was a lot of hype around The Dark Knight as well. But now we live in a superhero genre golden age or something, where everybody wants to see these films. So when a good one comes out, everybody is going to see it. Um, and it used to be that Batman was, I think, one of the most profitable, or still is one of the most profitable characters ever, besides Spider Man. So this is quite interesting as well. This movie being as huge as it is, because you can't just say it's because of the black cast. You can't say that anymore because the numbers are huge. They are huge. They're getting even bigger. It will probably beat out Captain America: Civil War in about a week easily. It might even come close to Frozen, which would mean it would get the number 10 spot on the most grossed films ever. It's right now at, I think, number 19, if I saw that correctly. So this is really, really huge. Now it's really on a track to beat out the Avengers on domestic level. I don't think it will on the international box office, because the internet box office was around 800 million for the Avengers, and that was quite early on. So I think it won't be able to crack that number. I do think that it will beat out the domestic number. Black Panther right now is at 570 million. Avengers at this point was around 527 million. Um, Jurassic Park was at 565 million, and Last Jedi was around 576 million. But the lags this movie has is so big, and because there aren't a lot of new releases going to beat this film out, I don't it might be as crazy as Black Panther beating out Tomb Raider. It might be getting that crazy. I'm not sure, but it will be a very, very tight race. Um, so yeah, it probably will beat out the domestic number of Jurassic World and Avengers for sure. It might even beat out the Last Jedi domestic number. I'm not really sure about that, but it might. The next topic is the film being released in China. It had a 66 million opening in the Chinese box office, which is pretty big for a Marvel film, actually. So it was quite impressive. But the reviews weren't that stellar. We actually had a lot of interesting reviews of a site called QC.com, and the reviews are really quite interesting, to say at least. One of the reviews said Black Panther is black. All the major characters are black. A lot of scenes are black. The car chasing scene is black. The blackness has really made me drowsy. Um, the only thing I can say is wow. Um, I don't know if this is racist. I don't know if he was talking about the lighting. If he was talking about the lighting, then the only scene in the film that is badly lit is the first scene, not the whole scene at all. So I'm not really getting a lot of scenes are black. I is he referencing the cost? Why is he doing that? Is why is that making him drowsy? I don't know. I don't know. Then the next review said, when I entered the theater, a bunch of black people was fighting in the night. I've never been in a theater so dark that I couldn't find my seat. Let me rephrase that. I've never been in a theater so dark that I couldn't find my seat. Wow. The only thing I can say about that is that guy is probably racist. I'm not even going to. That guy is probably freaking racist. And I have another fragment over here that I'll show you now.
朋友，然后大部分人可能对黑人不是很礼貌嘛，一般他们会叫 nigger。
So yeah, it's a little bit weird. A little bit, I don't know. I don't want to give a prejudice of Chinese people at all. I'm just very taken away by these kind of reviews. But these are just a few reviews from a certain site, so it's not representative of any culture at all. So, but the guy in the clip did say something very interesting, which I hope isn't true or just looks like it is, but really isn't. But yeah, yeah. 66 million box office opening is still enormous. So I don't think it's all about racism at all. I think it's just that a few people didn't like it. And on the Chinese version of IMDb, it has around a 6.8, which isn't really that bad though. 6.8 is pretty fine. It's just kind of not great, and that's fine. If a country doesn't like a film, that is fine as well. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to resonate with everyone. And now we're gonna look at the current, well, not current, the last week in box office. Black Panther was on top. It beat out Wrinkle in Time. It beat out all the new releases. Actually, it just came in at number one quite easily. The film A Wrinkle in Time was quite disappointing, so I guess it's kind of justified. Though I had a lot of hope for the director, Ava DuVernay, because of Selma. I really like the film, so was kind of disappointed about that. Uh, the other films are not making a dent in the box office of Black Panther at all. It's just snipping away a few millions, while Black Panther is still, in its fourth weekend, making 40 million bucks. A lot of films that come out even dream to reach that number on its first weekend. This film is making it in its fourth, so that's quite the number, quite the number. Strangers Pray at Night, a new release, came out pretty strong as a horror thriller. um Mostly these films don't have a big budget, so it had about a 10 million weekend opening, which is quite fine. I think it's not horrible at all. um Hurricane Heist, popcorn action film, did about 3 million this weekend. That's not a huge number. It had a 35 million production budget, so it needs to make around 100 million. I don't know if it's gonna make its money back. It's directed by the guy who directed the first Fast and the Furious film. If you look at the trailer, it looks quite interesting. It looks fun. It looks like a good time in the theater, but I don't know. It doesn't have great reviews, so. But the most interesting thing to me is that Jumanji is still in the race to get to the $1 billion club. And that's so interesting to me. It had a 19 million production budget. It has made around 940 million. So this must be one of the most profitable films of last year for sure. So that's very well done by The Rock and all the cast and the production and everyone really. And the director actually isn't a great director. He made a sex tape, which was horrible. He made Bad Teacher, which was horrible as well, and a lot of little small films, which I don't think made a real impact into the film industry. So maybe with this film, he finally can boost his own career and make something great out of it. So yeah, I'm really, really glad this film made that much money. It was very enjoyable and it felt like people actually made it work. We're already at the last topic. It's new releases. The first new release that will be released. Okay, that's a great sentence. But the first new film that's going to be released this weekend, or no, tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be released tomorrow. On Friday is Tomb Raider. I'm not very hopeful about this film. The Rotten Tomatoes score is around 51%. The trailer looks kind of boring to me. I hope this movie is something interesting. I am going to see it on Saturday. I hope it isn't a waste of my time. Um, and I am kind of in love with Alicia Vikander. Vikander? Vikander, Alicia Vikander. I'm kind of in love with her because she's freaking beautiful. So yeah, mm, I hope it is something enjoyable at least. Then we have next week, and actually it's coming out on Wednesday over here. Next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. Wednesday is Pacific Rim 2. I am excited for this film. I was a little bit disappointed by the fact that Guillermo del Toro won't be directing this one as well. But the film does look very enjoyable, does look good. John Boyega is in there. I really like John Boyega. If you did not like him in the Star Wars franchise, you will like him after Detroit. He was really, really good in Detroit. It literally made me cry. Um, yeah, but Pacific Rim 2, I'm very excited for it. Then we have Sherlock Gnomes. Yes, a new animation film, and it looks really bad, so I'm not even gonna attempt to watch that film. And then the next week after that, on the 29th of March, we have Ready Player One. I am excited for that film. I really am excited for it. I've not seen a lot of reviews about it. I've seen one, I think, of Angry Joe. Not the whole review, but a few snippets, and I did think he very much liked it. He did see it in a pre-screening, and when people see something in a pre-screening, I'm a little bit hesitant about, really um, believing his whole review because he might be a little biased. I'm not saying he is, but he might be because I think I would be biased if I got to see Avengers, for example, a month beforehand. I would be kind of biased and I would be hyped and everything. So, yeah, but I am excited for Ready Player One, directed by, of course, Steven Spielberg. Really excited for it. Um, and that's it for new release in March. I think there are a lot of great films in March coming after that or between it even. And of course, we know what's coming out in April. We know what's coming out in April, right? We're not even hiding it anymore. I Feel Pretty of Amy Schumer. So excited for it now. I'm really excited for Avengers, guys. So Avengers is the next one I'm going to rant about like a month long at least. But that's it, guys. I see you guys in the next video.